My name is Sandra Collins and I'm the Director of the National Library of Ireland. And here in the library, our job is to collect, protect and make accessible the recorded memory of Ireland. We care for more than 12 million items, including all the books published in Ireland, all the newspapers, manuscripts, prints, drawings, maps, and increasingly digital materials like websites and emails and social media and digital photographs. When we preserve these records, we're really telling the story of our country for future generations to look at, to enjoy and to understand. Often our history is told through the voices of the great men. We need to collect the voices of women and other underrepresented voices and keep them as part of the story of Ireland. I absolutely love my job because I love digital and I love culture. I've always been really interested in literature and art and also science, the STEM subjects. So in school I focused on maths and physics and applied maths, but I kept reading and I kept my interest in culture and arts. So this job brings that both together, and to be able to bring digital innovation into our culture, our heritage, is just an absolute joy. When I was in secondary school, I was really lucky because I had the most fabulous maths teacher. And it was really her that sparked that really want to study maths and science. And I was a real nerd. So I used to spend my pocket money buying New Scientist and Scientific American and reading them from cover to cover. For my studies, I did an accelerated joint honours degree in maths and maths physics in University College Dublin. And as I finished that, I went straight into my doctorate in applied mathematics. I was studying the mathematical modelling of shock waves and fluids. And an example is, you can think of tsunamis. These are the huge sea waves that might follow a sudden earthquake, and they wreak havoc, they destroy everything in their path. So my studies were to do the mathematical modelling of those shock waves. As I was finishing my doctorate, I was really lucky because I got my first job, a lecturing job in the university. And I spent all my time preparing my lectures for my students, the whole student engagement, really enjoyed it. Since then, I've had more opportunities to study, but mostly in areas of leadership and management. I've worked in different sectors and different roles. I'm always really grateful for my training in applied mathematics because it's just such a valuable skill set for problem solving, for really understanding and laying out a problem and a solution. And it's been the cornerstone of all my jobs since then. I think it can be a challenge to be the only girl or the only woman in the room. So when I studied maths in college, I was the only girl in my class. And when I got my first job lecturing maths in the university, I was one of only 2 women in the department. And I think feeling unique, it can be kind of uncomfortable, it can be challenging being the only person in the room. Sometimes you might find that you're using up your energy, over preparing or summoning your courage to walk into the room, when you could save that energy for new ideas, for creativity, if you were comfortable in that room. I remember in first year in university, the results for the exams used to be posted up on a notice board in the corridor. And I remember when our results went up, all the boys in the class clustering up at the notice board, arguing over which one of them was going to be first in the class. And the sense of surprise when they saw it was me, the only girl in the class, that had come first. It's my mum who inspired me to study mathematics. She loved maths at school, But at that time, her parents, my grandparents, took her out of school to put her in secretarial school. That was a part of the time that a woman wasn't supposed to study but to get a job and then get married. And my mum always felt that was something she hadn't had a chance to do. So when I went to school, she said, whatever you want to study, whatever you want to be, I'll support you. And that made such a difference. So when I discovered my own love of mathematics, she was there every step of the way saying, you can do it, I'll help you. It's just really, I suppose, super to have somebody that would nurture that in you from a really young age. I'm the first in my family to go to university. And I know my mum was so proud. I got an entrance scholarship from the matriculation exams into University College Dublin, and I know how proud she was on that day. It was like, you know, this is it. And she died when I was 33, and I still think of her when something good happens, when I get something really nice in my job, in my role. I think I'd love to tell her about that, because she made me who I am today, and I'd love to share it with her. I suppose what I think is really important to say to young women now is that you have a place in the world and that you need to claim it. You need to go out there and take it. It's yours. You have a voice and it matters, and to speak up and let it be heard.